Have you ever felt trapped in your own life? The days rush by, work piles up. Expectations from others weigh heavily on your shoulders. Worries seem endless. You try your best to hold everything together, to stay in control. Yet the tighter you hold on, the more peace seems to slip through your fingers. The more you try to control, the more distant peace feels. Your mind keeps spinning in endless loops, replaying the same anxious thoughts. Happiness? It feels like something just out of reach, always slipping away no matter how hard you chase it. But what if there's another way? What if, instead of being swept up by chaos, you could step back, see clearly, and face everything with calm, unshakable clarity? What if you could release what you can't control, embrace life's challenges with quiet strength, and free yourself from the exhausting tug-of-war with your emotions? This isn't just wishful thinking, it's the Stoic way. True peace doesn't come from controlling the world around you. It comes from mastering how you respond to it. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So, let's begin. Part 1. Control your mind. Have you ever felt trapped in a storm with no way out? One harsh word from someone haunts you all day. An unanswered text spirals into overthinking, leading you down a path of worst-case scenarios. A small failure quickly snowballs into negativity, making you feel like the whole world is against you. But here's something few realize: that storm, it's not outside. It's inside your mind. I used to be a prisoner of my own mind. If someone insulted me, I got angry. If life didn't go my way, I felt defeated. I lived like a tiny boat, tossed helplessly on the ocean's waves, until one day I came across a powerful quote by Epictetus. If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. That hit me like a lightning bolt. No one could make me angry unless I allowed them to. My suffering didn't come from the world, it came from how I perceived it. From that moment on, I adopted a life-changing principle. Observe your mind instead of letting it control you. Try this simple exercise. Close your eyes and imagine someone says something upsetting. Feel that anger rise. Now, instead of reacting, pause. Ask yourself, is it really their words that hurt me? Or is it my own interpretation? Can I choose a different reaction? You'll quickly realize emotions aren't something that happen to you. You create them. And if you change how you think, you change how you feel. When you control how you feel, you take back control of your life. Imagine holding on to a burning coal. You grip it tight, hoping to hurt the other person, but the only one burning is you. Negative emotions are the same. We cling to anger, hurt, and anxiety as if they define us, but they don't. When you control your mind, you can release them, and that is true freedom. Once you stop seeking peace outside yourself and start cultivating it within, no one can ever truly hurt you again. So, how do you practice this? Observe your thoughts. When emotions rise, don't react immediately. Step back and simply watch. Detach from your emotions. You are not your anger or sadness. These are passing waves on the surface of your mind. Choose your response. When facing negativity, ask, can I respond differently? And always remember this, nothing can hurt you unless you give it permission to. True peace doesn't come from controlling the outside world. It comes from mastering your perspective, like the eye of a storm. Calm, steady, and unmoved by the swirling chaos. You too can become the eye of your own life's storm. And it all starts with mastering your mind. In the previous part, we realize that mastering our thoughts and emotions is the first key to finding peace. But understanding something is one thing. Practicing it in daily life is quite another challenge. So how do we actually turn this understanding into action? The answer lies in the small, seemingly insignificant moments that make up our everyday life. Let's start with the simple things. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of growing irritated or impatient, use that time to reflect or listen to your favorite music. When rain unexpectedly ruins your plans, don't rush to frustration. Step outside, feel the cool raindrops on your skin, and breathe in the refreshing scent of the earth after the storm. These aren't setbacks. They're gifts, waiting for you to embrace them. Gradually, small mindset shifts like these will shape a new way of seeing the world. Ironically, the more we try to control life, the more fragile and anxious we become. But when we learn to let go, a strange sense of freedom begins to emerge. It's like a river flowing effortlessly around rocks instead of crashing into them, or a kite soaring higher by embracing the wind rather than fighting it. By accepting instead of resisting, we become more adaptable, more peaceful, and free from unnecessary emotional turmoil. Of course, acceptance isn't easy. Human nature craves control. We want everything to go according to our will, and that very desire often leads to disappointment and frustration. Think about it. How many times have you felt miserable because something didn't go as planned? How often have you been angry because others didn't act the way you wanted? How many joyful moments have been lost, trapped between regrets of the past and worries about the future? Life will never be perfect, but we can choose how we perceive it. If today you decide to embrace everything just as it is, without resentment or resistance, you will feel the world grow lighter and your heart more at peace. That is the true path to happiness. Yet, accepting reality as it is only marks half of the journey. After all, life is not only about what's right in front of us, it's also about the unknown that lies ahead. What will tomorrow bring? Will our expectations be fulfilled, or will surprises await us at every turn? If we continue to fear uncertainty, can our minds ever truly rest? To find lasting happiness, we must learn to welcome uncertainty with an open heart. That's exactly what we will dive into next. In the previous part, we explored the power of accepting things as they are. But what happens when praise and criticism constantly surround us? How can we stay grounded amidst the noise of life? That is where the wisdom of being indifferent to praise and criticism comes into play. Don't let the world control your mind. Imagine walking through a bustling market. Vendors call out from all sides. Some compliment you on your good taste, while others mock your choices. If you respond to every voice, you'll soon be exhausted before even leaving the market. Life is exactly like that. People will always have something to say. Today, you're a hero. Tomorrow, you might be a failure. If you allow yourself to be swayed by every opinion, you'll be trapped in an endless cycle of validation and rejection, joy and despair. However, when you choose intentional indifference, not because you don't care, but because you understand your worth isn't defined by praise or criticism, you become truly free. Indifference is not carelessness. It simply means you don't have to please everyone. If someone likes you, wonderful. If they don't, that's okay too. Stoic philosophy does not suggest becoming cold or emotionless. Instead, it reminds you that your mind belongs to you, not to the crowd. Epictetus once said, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses. Simply reply, 'He was ignorant of my other faults.' Otherwise, he would not have mentioned only these." If someone speaks badly about you, Instead of rushing to defend yourself, ask, how many other flaws of mine have they missed? Is it really worth my attention? This mindset may sound paradoxical, but it is deeply liberating. When you stop trying to meet everyone's expectations, you release yourself from unnecessary pressure. Accepting that you are imperfect allows you to live more freely. Indifference makes you stronger. Does this mean you stop striving for growth? Not at all. In fact, the right kind of indifference makes you stronger. When you are no longer controlled by praise or criticism, you can focus entirely on your goals. Before making a decision, ask yourself, if no one were watching, would I still do this? If the answer is yes, you are on the right path. If no, perhaps you're acting only for validation. Each night, reflect, did I live according to my values today? Did I improve from yesterday? If you are satisfied with your answers, others' opinions lose their grip on you. Look at great historical figures, Socrates, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus. They were judged and persecuted, yet they remained steadfast, true to their philosophy. Challenge yourself today. Try this for one day. Live without caring about others' opinions. Speak honestly. Do what feels right without seeking validation. At the end of the day, notice how much lighter you feel. Because when you stop chasing approval, you don't lose anything. On the contrary, you find something precious, your true self. Now, having embraced indifference, we move to an even greater challenge, letting go of the need to always be right. Let's continue this journey in the next part. After learning to be indifferent to praise and criticism, you might feel lighter already, but there's another powerful step on this journey, releasing yourself from the chains of expectation. Number 6. Expect less. There's a timeless story about a beggar who roamed the streets, wearing tattered clothes and carrying eyes that seemed to have weathered countless storms. One day, a passerby asked him, "How can you stay so calm when you have nothing?" The beggar smiled gently and replied, "Because I never thought I was supposed to have anything." This simple answer carries profound wisdom. Often we do not suffer because of what we lack. We suffer because of what we believe we should have had. We chase ideal relationships, flawless careers, and lives free of hardship. These silent expectations are like invisible contracts we sign with life, but here's the harsh reality. Life never agreed to those terms. When reality refuses to follow our script, disappointment floods in. Stoic philosophy teaches that peace does not come from bending life to our will, but from expecting less. Now, expecting less does not mean giving up on your dreams. It means understanding that the world doesn't operate for our convenience. When you grasp this, life's small setbacks will no longer feel like betrayals. Think about it. How many times have you grown angry because someone didn't meet your expectations? Or felt frustrated because success didn't arrive according to your timeline? But really, whoever promised us that life would always go our way? Seneca wisely said, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." We often burden ourselves with worries about uncertain futures. Yet, if you stop for a second and look around, you might realize, at this very moment, nothing is truly wrong. Things are simply not happening as you expected. Now imagine waking up tomorrow with zero expectations. You expect nothing from your partner, your boss, or even your day ahead. Strangely, when you release those expectations, the smallest things begin to shine: a genuine smile from a stranger, a quiet morning breeze, a spontaneous, heartfelt conversation. Expecting less doesn't mean living without passion. It means embracing life exactly as it is. When you lower expectations, you also reduce fear. You stop clinging tightly to outcomes and instead begin to flow like a leaf drifting down a peaceful river. So ask yourself, do you really need everything you desire to be happy? Or are those very desires the true source of your suffering? Today, challenge yourself. Try living without forcing life to follow your script. Just observe, accept, and allow things to unfold naturally. When you stop demanding and start seeing, something beautiful happens. You begin to realize that life, in its raw and unscripted form, has always been enough. But, as freeing as that sounds, there's another hurdle. What about the expectations others place on you? The pressure to say yes to every request, to meet everyone's needs. Are you still in control when your time and energy belong to everyone but yourself? Perhaps it's time to unlock another secret to inner peace. The courage to say no. Let's continue with that in the next part. After realizing that learning to say no can help you take control of your life, it's now time to take a step further, to face a deeper truth, embrace discomfort to grow. Imagine yourself as a sharp blade. Without a grindstone, without pressure and friction, that blade will inevitably grow dull and useless. Life works the same way. If you constantly avoid discomfort and refuse to face challenges, you'll never sharpen yourself or evolve into the strongest version of who you could be. The Stoics understood this well. They believed that hardship, inconvenience, and adversity are not obstacles to growth. They are the very conditions that allow us to thrive. Have you ever wondered why happiness and peace don't come from ease? True joy only arises when we dare to step into discomfort. Stoicism doesn't advocate for an easy life. Instead, it encourages us to cultivate inner strength by confronting difficulties head-on. Epictetus once said, "Difficulties are what show men's character. When trouble comes, think of yourself as a wrestler whom God, like a trainer, has matched with a tough opponent for practice." Think of professional boxers. They don't merely endure punches, they train with harder and harder hits every day. This not only toughens their bodies, but conditions their minds to handle hardships without breaking. You can apply this principle in your everyday life. Wake up earlier than you want to. Train your discipline instead of indulging in extra sleep. When faced with a daunting opportunity, step out of your comfort zone instead of retreating to what's familiar. If there's a difficult conversation waiting, don't avoid it. Face it. Knowing that discomfort is a catalyst for growth. Even in small ways, walking instead of driving, turning off your phone to reclaim your attention, you are building resilience. Strangely enough, while many believe happiness lies in comfort, the most fulfilled people are those who have faced trials and emerged stronger. When you voluntarily embrace discomfort, it ceases to be suffering. Instead, it becomes training. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly faced something uncomfortable? Did you step into it or shy away? The Stoics never sought the easy path. They stood as warriors, firm in the face of storms, knowing resilience is not found in avoidance, but in confrontation. So, if today feels difficult, don't curse it. Be grateful. Life isn't trying to break you, it's forging you into something stronger. Next time you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, remember, growth never comes from ease. Welcome the challenge, make it part of your story, because when you do, you will discover true peace, not by escaping hardship, but by rising to meet it. And now, another profound truth awaits, one that none of us can avoid. Reflecting on death. Page 6, rewritten. We've just unlocked a profound truth. Facing discomfort helps us grow stronger. But now let's go even deeper, to a lesson that many fear to face. confronting the idea of the end. Imagine this. What if today was your last day? Not to be pessimistic, but to ask yourself one crucial question. Did I truly live today? The samurai warriors of ancient times lived by this very philosophy. They believed that only by accepting death could they fight without fear. And strangely enough, it was this acceptance that allowed them to live more courageously and meaningfully. You can embrace the same idea through a simple daily practice. Every night before you sleep, take a moment to reflect. Imagine that tomorrow might never come, not to scare yourself, but to awaken your awareness. Ask yourself, did I spend meaningful time with my loved ones today? Did I truly appreciate the little moments? If this were my last day, would I have any regrets? You might be surprised by how much clarity this exercise brings. When you make peace with the idea of death, trivial worries naturally fade. You stop procrastinating what matters most. You stop hesitating to say what needs to be said or to act boldly. Instead, you begin living with fearless authenticity. Ask yourself honestly, if tomorrow never comes, are you truly living today? If your answer makes you hesitate, then perhaps it's time to shift your perspective. By now, we've explored 9 essential Stoic principles, timeless lessons designed to help you let go and find true inner peace. Life will always be unpredictable, full of ups and downs, but that doesn't mean you have to be controlled by them. Happiness doesn't come from controlling everything around you. It comes from knowing what to hold on to and what to release. When you accept that certain things are beyond your control, you stop being a prisoner of circumstances and start becoming the true master of your life. Peace isn't a faraway destination. It's right here in how you choose to live each day. When you face adversity with calmness, when you no longer allow emotions to dictate your actions, when you understand that your mind is your own and no one can take that away, that is when you finally find true happiness. If this video has inspired you, take a second to hit the like button. It helps share these positive messages with others. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so share them in the comments below. And if you know someone who needs to hear this today, don't hesitate to share this video with them. Finally, make sure to subscribe, because there's so much more wisdom to come on this journey together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.